Hello, my dear students and friends. This is Bob Anderson again on our 6th class in reviewing the 26 divine qualities from the Bhagavad Gita. I'm the International Director of Education for Global International Schools, and I typically teach in India, but because of this virus business, we have to do a lot of our teaching online now, which it's better than not being able to do it at all, but I'd rather be with my students. That's what gives me really great enjoyment. At any rate, we do the best we can with what we have. Today, we'll cover a number of the divine qualities. We'll probably cover 4 in this particular class. We're getting near the end. After these 4, there are 3 more, and that will conclude this particular class on the 26 divine qualities. As usual, we will start our class today with 5 minutes of meditation, as we always do. I would like you all to sit comfortably, relaxed. Put your feet on the ground or cross your legs, whichever is more comfortable. Sit straight, not rigid, but with your spine straight and your head and your spine in alignment, but in a relaxed way. Put your hands in your lap, your right hand on top of your left, palms up, very gently, just relax. Shoulders relaxed, legs relaxed. Just keep yourself in a straight position, but not rigid. When I tell you, you will close the eyes and simply put your attention on your breathing. Not concentration, not trying to do anything in particular, no trying to keep out thoughts or noises or anything. These things will happen. Thoughts will come and go. You may hear something. You may hear dogs barking, people talking, cars. All of these external things, simply do not pay attention to. Do not let your mind rest on them any longer than it takes you to think another thought. Oh, I'm not paying attention to my breathing. When you are aware that your attention is not on the breathing, gently, gently bring it back, not harshly. This gentle interchange of thoughts and the attention back to the breathing, being comfortable, is our way of doing, in my personal opinion as a teacher of meditation of 45 years, a very good way to learn the technique of meditation, calming the mind and body. All right, sit comfortably. I will bring us out of meditation in 5 minutes. Close the eyes. Gently put the attention on the breathing. Begin. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Slowly open your eyes. All right. That should be very easy. Again, as usual, I want to remind you that meditation should be an effortless process. It's the gentle paying of attention to the breathing, not concentrating on it, not manipulating the breathing, causing it to do one thing or another, just the gentle attention on the inflow and the outflow of air. Thoughts will come and go. That's natural. Don't try to push them out, nor try to hold on to them. Just don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to the breathing. Of course, your attention will get moved off of the breathing. Thoughts are coming, or somebody's talking, or a dog barking, or a car driving. But again, as you become aware of it, then the next thing that you might be able to think is, oh, my attention's not on my breathing. Gently bring it back. It's this effortless interchange between the two, thoughts and sensations and your breathing, that is proper meditation. Everything else is automatic. It happens by itself. The great rishis or sages in India thousands of years ago developed these practices so that all of us can achieve that realization of our true self just as they did. It's the expansion of the awareness and the gentle but progressive control of the senses, not by conscious effort all the time. Yes, some conscious effort is necessary. But within ourselves, we find that we are more stable, less agitated, which gives us the ability to control our senses, our actions, our thoughts more and more as time progresses. All right? So the first of our divine qualities for this class is absence of restlessness. Achaplam. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Those of you who are Sanskrit scholars will probably tell me that I didn't do it right, but that's okay. Absence of restlessness enables us to avoid physical and mental roaming and useless activities that deplete our strength. When I say deplete our strength, that is both mental energy and physical energy. Just this restlessness, this habitual roaming about, thinking about this, thinking about that, doing this, running there, doing there, without any real achievements in mind. It's the natural restlessness of the mind and body. Some of us have it, this restlessness more than others, but all of us have it to some degree. The absence of restlessness, or remembering not to act uselessly, not to dwell on useless thoughts for which you can do nothing about at this moment in time, to do something, to complete something, or to improve something. If you can't do something right now about it, dwelling on it, be it a very pleasant thought or be it an unpleasant thought, is a waste of life force. It's like spinning your wheels in the mud. Your wheels are going like crazy, but you're going nowhere. This just depletes our strength. We come into this world with a certain amount of energy, certain amount. It's like money we can spend. And if we spend it on useless things that don't provide anything to us or the world around us, just the restless spending of mental and physical energy, that's not the way that we can be productive in this world. That's not the way that we can be happy in this world. Because by the time we do find something that is of value to put our attention on, we have little mental or physical strength left because we wasted it on useless pursuits, either mentally or physically. Guard your mind and guard your physical strength like you would guard your bank account or a pile of money. Spend it wisely. Nervousness and restlessness are usually caused by constant indulgence in sense pleasures. So if we're running here and there, trying to have this pleasant experience or run away from this unpleasant one, this gives us this restless movement without anything to show for it. So when we overindulge in our senses, whether it's the five senses or whether it's mental habits, either one, this can cause either internal mental restlessness or external physical restlessness. Both of these are equally draining of our vital energy resources that we have for this life. Restlessness is also caused by habitual negative thoughts or emotional problems, or by driving traits like obsessive worldly ambition. This is important. I want to read this one again because we want to think about this. Restlessness is also caused by habitual negative thoughts or emotional problems, or by driving traits. In other words, driving personality, hyper type A, they call it, like obsessive worldly ambition. How often do we have like a negative thought come in, either about ourselves, others, a situation, and for some strange reason, it keeps coming back and we dwell on it and we dwell on it and we dwell on it in this endless cycle, making ourselves more miserable and more exhausted without solving the problem. Now, this can also be from some deep-seated emotional problems that can bring up thoughts and feelings which are hurtful, which are damaging. Again, these emotional problems, we don't really care where they come from. At this point, we want to simply be aware of these restless, habitual thought patterns or activity patterns or obsessions that we have. Because only when we can be aware that these things are occurring within or around us can we take the appropriate action of diverting our minds to something more positive, or diverting our minds or actions to something that can have a definite outcome that we desire. Hopefully it's a positive one. But just be aware, be conscious of your thoughts. Be conscious of what you're doing. This is the key to living a good, productive, and happy life, is greater awareness. Restlessness is absence of peace and can bring about compulsive or thoughtless behavior that can be injurious to ourselves and others. Restlessness is an absence of peace. It is thoughts for the sake of thinking, actions for the sake of just the obsessive, continuous action. And because of this, we can act impulsively. We can think impulsively, thoughtlessly, behave thoughtlessly, and can hurt others and ourselves without necessarily meaning to, but simply because we have no control over our mental process or our physical activity. We must begin getting control of our internal resources, as I said before, like a team of horses, where your mind is the charioteer. The horses are the senses. Be able to guide them properly. Don't let them get out of control, because when they do, our whole life suffers, others around us suffer. Absence of restlessness. Be mindful. Don't waste mental or physical energy on negative or useless thoughts and actions. Be aware of what you're doing and always strive to move it in a positive or life-supporting direction. Radiance of character, tejas. Tejas bestows upon man mental and moral boldness. When we say radiance of character, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a light bulb. Well, as a metaphor, that's not bad though, because all of us are constantly radiating. It's part of our physiology, electromagnetic emanations from the body, because we are in fact an engine. Radiance of character means that what we are radiating is life-supporting, is positive, is goodness. And in that goodness, it gives us a moral sense of stability, that what we are doing is right for us and our environment. There is a radiation of irresistible confidence in righteousness that emanates from those who have felt within themselves the surety of the divine power. Surety is a good word. That power within us is infinite in its scope and more solid than anything that we have thought of or can do in this world. That's an interesting thing to say unless we have dipped into our internal resources and begin to feel it for ourselves. We have that irresistible confidence within us. We have righteousness, which is a striving to do the right thing, to resist that which is evil or dark and life-damaging. It naturally emanates from those who have felt for themselves, within themselves, that power. That is another one of those reasons why we meditate. Return the attention inward, and slowly but slowly the mind and body settles down. In that settling, that peacefulness, we begin to get the flavor, the taste, the smell, the scent of that divine power within us, whose nature is absolute peace and absolute potential for goodness and life-supporting activity. Divine radiance is further characterized by a natural unfoldment of spiritual magnetism, an unassumed vibratory aura of goodness, and a quiet outer expression of deep inner joy. As we begin to unfold ourselves to ourselves, within ourselves, we have a natural aura or vibration that wants, that people, animals, everything wants to be near that, because it is life-supporting. It's unassuming. It doesn't even know that itself is there. It just is like the fragrance of a flower. This aura of goodness, this aura of spiritual magnetism happens automatically on its own. It's nothing that we think about or try to achieve. Goodness and this aura of goodness and magnetism about us is quite spontaneous. If we think about it, oh, I'm a good person, or oh, I'm a very spiritual person, know that you are far from what you think you are. True goodness does not know itself. It just is. It is the way we act. It is the way we speak, naturally, spontaneously. And it's the quiet outer expression of that deep inner joy, which is the source of that divine power within us, that true self, that peace that passes all understanding. That is what our essential nature is within us. Contact it little at a time and begin to live it more and more every day in our thoughts, words, and deeds. Such experiences help develop a heroic spiritual nature. Well, I guess you could say that that means that we are not easily overthrown by situations in life. Something that is heroic is courageous. Courage comes from a stability inside of us, not through thoughts, not through being really a strong, physically strong person necessarily. Those are pieces of it, but true heroism, true courage, always comes from within, deep within, then into the mind, then into our actions. And it happens quite naturally. We don't have to think heroic thoughts. We simply do according to our nature, according to the unfoldment spontaneously of that divine nature from within ourselves. Forgiveness, kashama. Forgiveness consists of not inflicting or wishing punishment on those who do you harm or who you see doing wrong. Forgiveness is another aspect of love. And love and compassion and forgiveness are brothers and sisters. They all live together in the same house within our soul. He knows that cosmic law will see to it that all injustices are rectified. We don't need to try and fix others. We don't need to pay back others for injury, because when we do, when we have those type of thoughts of vengeance, all that does is pull us down into the quagmire of mental turmoil and suffering. This universe works on cosmic law. We know that. The law of karma, action and reaction. We need not try to adjust it. It happens automatically. Pay attention to yourself, your actions. Don't worry about others. Universal law will take care of balancing the scale. Retribution at the hands of the immutable law of karma has for its proper and far-seeing purpose the eventual spiritual redemption of the sinner. That is universal forgiveness, because it is this immutable law of karma, of the balancing of energies of the universe, that is far-seeing, that has the purpose of balancing all equations and the eventual spiritual unfoldment of all. Being a sinner or a saint are words that we have created for our society. They have nothing to do with the reality of the universe. There is only that which is progressive, that which is life-supporting, or that which retards or holds back life. Let us not worry about which one someone else is. Let us only be concerned about ourselves, our actions, how we respond to situations. Don't worry about judging others. That balancing of the scales is done automatically by the universe or the divine or God itself. This is not to say that wrongdoers should have no curtailment. Social structure demands constraints for its survival. That's why we have police departments. That's why we have armies. Not not to hurt someone, but to protect the society and citizens from those who cannot control themselves, who have darkness within them at this point in time. These structures help to give our society stability and protect the citizens. Someone who protects others at the expense of their own safety, to me, is a true hero, because they are selfless. They would stand between others and harm. The word has been said that no greater love hath any man that he should give his life for another. I'm not saying that you have to die for somebody else, but if you see someone being oppressed, being bullied at school, be it mentally, through words, or physically, step in. It's wrong. It's wrong for someone who may be physically or socially stronger to bully someone who is less capable. That is wrong by any measurement. And to stand by idly and watch it happen when you know it's wrong is cowardly. Is cowardly. Stand up for those who are weaker. Protect those who are weaker to the extent that you can, or get someone who can. That doesn't mean that you have to stand up and take a swing at the bully, but you can go get a teacher, you can get a parent, you can get somebody else. But don't let others be abused. That's just wrong. And never, ever abuse someone because you think you're in a superior position, either socially, intellectually, physically, economically. That type of ill action breeds its own karmic response and ultimate justice. Purify your nature. Help those in need. Let them alone if you cannot. It has been said that the continuation of a species is due to man's being forgiving. How true is that? If we did not forgive, whether as an individual, as a town, a nation, a world, things that were done wrong, quote unquote, what we feel were wrong, if we could not forgive, then we would be in a constantly escalating battle that ultimately would end in everyone's destruction. Forgiveness is the might of the mighty. Forgiveness is sacrifice. Forgiveness and gentle qualities are those which are closest to God. God forgives us for our transgressions, and oftentimes we don't truly pay what we should, and that is mercy and forgiveness by God, by the laws of the universe. Can we not try and be more like that? Keep in mind that as we sow, so shall we reap. When we forgive, we will also be forgiven. For none of us is without fault. There is no saint without a past, and there is no sinner without a future. Remember that. Patience or fortitude. Driti. Patience or fortitude enables you to bear misfortunes and insults with equilibrium. Patience is forbearance. Patience is internal strength. Fortitude is internal strength. And all of us will have misfortunes in life. It just is part of life. It's how things work. But if we can do bear up under misfortunes or even insults with equilibrium, with evenness within our nature, within our heart, and not hatred and not anger. This shows a person of patience or fortitude, meaning internal strength. Outward events cannot shake you, nor can occasional internal turmoil serve to deflect you from your chosen path and goal, which is to truly integrate these divine qualities and that inner strength into our conscious mind and our daily actions. So regardless of events that occur outside, and also internal turmoil like thoughts of fear, of guilt or anger, they cannot deflect us. They cannot throw us off balance. Yes, we will always have these thoughts. They're going to come in. But the question is not whether or not they come in. The question is whether or not we hold on to them, whether we dwell on them, whether we pay attention to them. When we allow things to flow through our life, whether it be outer events of any nature, good or bad,